Deep in a beautiful green forest, surrounded by tall pine trees and wildflowers, there stood a cozy little wooden cottage. Soft smoke rose gently from the stone chimney. Warm golden light glowed softly through the small round windows of this lovely home. This charming cottage was the home of a family of 3 bears who lived peacefully together in the heart of the enchanted forest. Papa Bear was big and very strong, with thick dark brown fur. He always protected his beloved family and kept them safe from harm. Mama Bear was gentle and kind, with soft golden brown fur. She loved wearing her pretty pink dress and caring for her cozy home. Baby Bear was the smallest and the most adorable of all. He had fluffy, light brown fur, big, round, curious eyes, and a cheerful smile. Every day, the 3 bears would spend happy time together, sharing wonderful moments of joy and laughter inside their cozy home. Life in the little forest cottage was peaceful and full of love. The happy bear family had everything they needed to be truly happy. One bright and sunny morning, the bear family woke up early. The golden sunlight streamed through the windows of the cozy cottage. Mama Bear went to the kitchen and began to cook a delicious pot of porridge for breakfast. The sweet smell filled the whole house. She carefully poured the hot porridge into 3 bowls. A big bowl for Papa Bear, a medium bowl for herself, and a small one for Baby. Papa Bear sat down at the table and took a big spoonful of porridge, but it was far too hot to eat. He burned his tongue and jumped back. Mama Bear and Baby Bear also tried their porridge, but it was much too hot for them as well. They needed to wait for it to cool down. Papa Bear had a wonderful idea. He suggested that the family go for a nice walk in the forest while the porridge cooled down a little. Mama Bear and Baby Bear happily agreed with the plan. They left the 3 bowls of porridge on the table and headed toward the front door. The bear family walked out of the cottage and disappeared into the beautiful green forest, leaving their front door slightly open behind them. On the other side of the same forest, there lived a curious little girl named Goldilocks. She had beautiful, long, golden, curly hair. Goldilocks loved to explore and go on adventures. That very same morning, she decided to take a walk through the beautiful forest alone. She skipped happily along the winding forest path, singing softly to herself. The birds sang along with her as she walked deeper inside. Goldilocks stopped to pick some pretty wild flowers that grew beside the path. She gathered pink and yellow flowers into a lovely bouquet. A beautiful, colorful butterfly flew past her face. Goldilocks laughed with delight and began to chase it playfully through the tall trees. She ran and ran, following the butterfly deeper and deeper into the forest. Soon she found herself in a part she had never seen before. Goldilocks looked around and realized she was completely lost. The trees looked different here, and she did not know which way to go home. But the curious little girl was not afraid at all. Instead, she felt excited to discover what wonderful things this new place might hold. As Goldilocks wandered through the unfamiliar forest, she suddenly spotted something interesting through the trees. It was a little cottage. The cottage looked so warm and inviting, with its wooden walls and stone chimney. Goldilocks felt very curious and wanted to take a closer look. She walked slowly toward the cottage, looking around carefully. The front door was slightly open, and no one seemed to be anywhere outside. Goldilocks stepped up to the door and knocked gently 3 times. She waited and listened, but there was no answer from inside the cottage. She knocked again a little louder this time and called out softly. Still, nobody came to the door. The little cottage remained completely silent. The curious girl slowly pushed the door open just a little bit. She peeked inside and saw a cozy living room with warm light and nice furniture. Goldilocks knew it was not polite to enter without permission, but her curiosity was too strong. She quietly stepped through the doorway inside. The little girl looked around the cozy room with wide, amazed eyes. Everything inside looked so comfortable and welcoming. She decided to explore more. As Goldilocks explored the cottage, she noticed a wooden table with 3 bowls of porridge. The sweet smell made her feel very hungry indeed. She walked to the table and looked at the 3 bowls. There was a big bowl, a medium bowl, and a small bowl all filled with yummy porridge. Goldilocks picked up the spoon and tasted the porridge in the big bowl first, but it was far too hot and burned her little tongue very badly. Then she tried the porridge in the medium bowl. This time it was too cold and did not taste good at all. She put down the spoon with a frown. Finally, Goldilocks tasted the porridge in the small bowl. Her eyes lit up with joy. This porridge was not too hot and not too cold, but just right. The hungry little girl took another spoonful, and then another. The porridge was so delicious that she could not stop eating it at all. Spoon after spoon, Goldilocks kept eating happily until every last bit was gone. She had eaten all of Baby Bear's porridge from the small bowl. Goldilocks put down the empty bowl and rubbed her full tummy with a satisfied smile. Now she felt much better, but she was also feeling very tired. After eating all that porridge, Goldilocks felt very tired and wanted to sit down for a rest. She looked around the cozy living room carefully. She noticed 3 chairs by the warm fireplace. There was a big chair, a medium chair, and a small chair all lined up in a neat little row. Goldilocks climbed up onto the big chair first and sat down, but the chair was far too hard and uncomfortable for her. She did not like it at all. Then she tried the medium chair and sat down softly. But this chair was much too soft and squishy. She sank down deep and could not sit properly.